Right, I'm not really one for these sorts of videos usually, but I've just come back from the Arsenal Crystal Palace game. Obviously, crap result, 2-2. Everyone in the stadium was disappointed. Everyone knows it's not good enough, but I just have to talk about this Xhaka thing because it doesn't sit right with me really. Basically, if you haven't seen, you probably have seen, but we were 2-0 up against Crystal Palace. They came back 2-1, penalty. Then early in the second half, 2-2. We were in search of the third goal to regain the lead. So we took Xhaka off in place of, I think it was Saka or someone, basically an attacking player, because we were looking to win the game. Then basically, as Xhaka's name gets called out, all of the fans, I mean say all the fans, like a large majority of the Arsenal fans in the stadium cheered him. Like cheered his name being announced and him being substituted. Not the fact that Xhaka was coming on, it could have been anyone coming on. It was the fact that Xhaka was being taken off. Then, as he starts to walk off, he's being jeered. They literally turn from "way" to jeering him and like basically screaming at him because he's not getting off the pitch enough, like quick enough. So then he hears that and he's obviously like, oh, okay, yeah, louder. Obviously it pissed him off, and then as he's walking closer and closer, it gets worse, the jeering gets worse. He then tells the fans to fuck off, and then he takes off his shirt and walks down the tunnel. Now, I'm not justifying his reaction. I'm not absolving him of telling the fans to fuck off and like saying that it's okay to take your shirt off and storm down the tunnel. I'm not saying that's okay. I think everyone knows that's not really a good thing to do if you're captain of the club. But a lot of people are acting like it's a one-way street, like he didn't, that there was nothing done to him to merit that sort of reaction. Like, oh my God, how has he just done that? That's ridiculous. Like, as if nothing had happened to him, as if it was just, he just came off the pitch and he did that for no reason. A lot of fans didn't want him to be club captain, but he is club captain. He's really proud of the fact that he is club captain, and by all accounts, a lot of the players in the team look up to him as a captain or one of the 5 captains. To cheer your club captain coming off, especially because I don't actually think he was that bad today. Like, a lot of people said, oh, he was awful. Like, he was one of our better players, like, especially in midfield. Like, Guendouzi was good again, but Ceballos, for example, I thought had a worse game. Whether there are better or worse players, I'm just saying today, Xhaka didn't have a bad game and he was taken off. Yeah, you could maybe justify it because we're searching for a winner. But again, I'm not justifying his response, I'm just clarifying. I'm just saying that there are 2 parts of this. Fans who cheered him and then jeered him, basically disrespected him, then getting offended at him disrespecting you, you lot are surely hypocritical. Like, just think, right? Okay, at the moment, if you're one of those fans, you're probably annoyed that I'm saying this, right? But just for one sec, put yourself in his shoes. He's the fucking captain of Arsenal Football Club. He plays basically every week, and he gives his all every week. Whether it's good enough or not, that's got nothing to do with it. Like, it's not his fault. He isn't good enough for where we want to be as a club. He gives his all every week. He doesn't hide, he gives his all. He wants to win the game for his club as much as you want him to win the game, as much as you want Arsenal to win the game. He also wants Arsenal to win the game. It's not like he's playing there, turning around to kick the ball in his own net because he doesn't want to win the game. He's the captain, of course he wants to win the game. So basically, by cheering him and jeering him, you are questioning his integrity as a professional footballer. As I said, he's probably not good enough a midfielder to have as your main midfielder if you really want to challenge for the title or to finish in the top 4. But the fact that he's starting every week and the fact that he plays and that he's been given the captaincy isn't his fault. It's not his fault that he's basically the best option we have in midfield, and yet that best option in midfield isn't good enough to where we want to be. And then obviously I've seen some videos out, and Troops, I like you, and in that video on Arsenal Fan TV, it's very emotional, and you say like he should respect the fans and stuff. Of course he should respect the fans, but surely it's not a one-way street. It's not like we can treat this person like dirt and he has to respect us. You are literally not respecting your captain and then expecting him to be like, cheers lads, I'm going to trot off now. You're being unrealistic if you think someone can just take that in front of 60,000 people. Imagine how embarrassing that is for a professional footballer to be treated like that and then expect him to just take it on the chin and be like, yeah, cheers guys, I'm just going to go off now, I hope you win the game. Of course you're going to be pissed off. You claim that he should respect the fans because they would die to represent Arsenal and that they would kill to be on the pitch for 1 minute. As if Xhaka doesn't really want to play for Arsenal and isn't immensely proud to be Arsenal captain. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to put his life on the line as much as you would want to put your life on the line because Arsenal is your life, and how can you expect him to absolutely live, breathe and die for the club that you live, breathe and die for because you're from here, because you've supported it since you're a kid? He probably hasn't supported it since he was a kid, but he's been given the honour and the privilege of representing Arsenal as Arsenal captain. Then you literally question his integrity as a professional footballer and then expect him to not take it, but just go off the pitch and be like, yeah, that's fine. So as I said, in his shoes, you're drawing 2-2, you've assisted one of the goals, I think, and you're then taken off. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm being taken off because we want to win the game, and there's someone who's more attacking, who's better suited to win us the game. That's fine. He can probably take that as a professional footballer because he's been substituted before, and he's captain, and his manager has told him to go off the pitch. Fine. But then to hear your own fans, 60,000 of you like a mob, cheer the fact that he's being substituted, you know how much of a punch in the gut that must be as the captain of the club, and the fans of that club literally cheer you coming off. Then, when you don't run off the pitch like they expect you to, they start jeering you. Like, you know how unbelievable that must be as a professional footballer to get that sort of treatment, and then just take it. Obviously, a captain disrespecting the fans is not good in any club, in any country in the world. It's not a good thing, you shouldn't do it. But I'm just saying, it's not like he's done it for no reason. There was a part A to this whole situation. I think, surely, if you're honest with yourself, yeah, surely you can't honestly say that you would just take it. Every one of you, like me, I try not to get overly emotional, especially with football and something that is out of my control, like watching football. If that was me, I'll be like, oh my god, that's so fucking annoying. Like, I've just put my heart out. We're trying to win this game. I play every week. I try so hard. I know maybe I'm not good enough to play here every week, but if I'm going to keep getting picked, I'm going to keep trying, and then yet you're literally jeered off the pitch. Like that, that must feel so bad. And I would probably be like, yeah, fuck you lot, why are you treating me like that? Like, you'd surely be lying to yourself if you said that you wouldn't react that way. Because it's like sarcastically clapping in someone's face, them telling you to fuck off, and then you getting really offended. Oh, you just told me to fuck off. It's like, yes, of course I told you to fuck off because you just humiliated me. Again, I'm not excusing what he did. He shouldn't have done what he did. I'm just highlighting the fact that it's not a one-way street. That I think a lot of you are maybe losing sight of the fact that there was something before that provoked this reaction. The reaction wasn't ideal. He shouldn't have done it. But it was a reaction, as in reacting to something. It's not like nothing happened and then suddenly he told the fans to fuck off. Like, that doesn't happen. I could go on, and that's for another time, but I felt I needed to at least have some sort of say in this, just because I feel like people are being too emotional and possibly too entitled and too blind to both sides of this to really, in their heart of hearts, feel like they're totally justified in doing that to Xhaka, and for there to be no justification on his side. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I need to speak with some, hopefully, logic and reason on behalf of Xhaka, just to highlight the fact that it's not just all one way and it's not all one person's fault. There are two things at play here. So, yeah, anyway, yeah. I had to say that. So let me know what you think, and